I'm Hubs, and you're watching HMODS.
Oh yeah! You gotta get swifty! You gotta get swifty in here! It's time to get swifty!
Hey everyone, I got some new merch. There's really nothing more to say except for the fact that I think it's pretty f***ing cool. Yeah, new merch. Go check it out. Oh, I see that cool pint glass. I made that. And I made that too. Ooh, and that. I like that one. So, yeah, go buy some HMODS merch. It let your friends know how cool it is. How cool I am. Or that you think I'm cool, whatever. Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, Black Widow is dead. Hello. How you doing? I think we're both all over the place today. So anyway, Black Widow is done. And I wanted to put this video online when he actually had already seen the computer. So it's done, it is in his hands. And so without any further ado, I think we can finally proceed to the big reveal. Project Black Widow, observe. Well, here it is, my first foray into laptops. And as you can see, it's pretty cool looking. As much as I wish I could have done something more with the innards of it, what I did was actually pretty good. So what we did was, aside from the cosmetic stuff that you can see, was replace the RAM from a crappy 4 gigabytes of Hynix 2133 megahertz to 16 gigabytes of 3000 megahertz HyperX. We replaced the old 1 terabyte hard drive with a 6 terabyte Seagate Barracuda, which is much faster. And we also added a 500 gigabyte Samsung M.2, which houses all the critical systems, Windows, VLC, all the critical software stuff that's not games. And it went from booting up in just under 3 minutes to 45 seconds. Hugely happy with this. And oh yeah, the work speaks for itself. He was playing No Man's Sky and Escape from Tarkov on this thing before, and they boot up like half the time. So that's incredible improvement. So upgrading the RAM speed really had an effect. Replacing the hard drive with something much beefier and much faster, and then adding the M.2 for all the critical systems like Windows and anything like, you know, VLC, things like that. He had a drastic improvement. Not to mention cleaning the fans, cleaning the CPU, the GPU, and just the work speaks for itself. It boots up super quickly. It just purrs like a kitten. Like, listen. Nothing. You can hear nothing. Look at it. Look at it! But you just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. So, yeah, very pleased with it. And looking at this thing, I mean, it's a shadow of what it once was. And I'm very pleased with that. As I said before, if I don't do another one of these again, I could be very happy. But at the same time, this is going to be my first laptop. Probably going to do another one if I have the opportunity, even though they're a bitch to work with. So, cosmetics. As you can see, it looks like a shadow of what it once was. It used to be this, I mean, it was a nice sort of polished aluminum kind of look that really, like in my opinion, doesn't fit the gamer aesthetic. And I'll be honest, it took me a while to really figure out what I wanted to do with this, but it was in taking it apart that really gave me the idea. When you peel off the monitor casing, underneath there's this sort of, as I showed you, but underneath there's this sort of semicircular red blotch underneath the Strix logo on the back of the monitor casing. And that gave me the idea for Black Widow. So the colors quickly became from polished aluminum to black, red, you know, some whites and all that stuff. And it kind of also looks a little bit like rusty because this was gray. This was sort of a gray, well, goldish sort of silver, sort of a platinum looking thing. And now it's got this sort of aged black look to it, which this is not the original. This is some blacks and just a tiny bit of red and some chrome paint, which I really liked the effect of. So I did that on some of the casing as well, on the top part of the casing here, and I think the result turned out really nicely. On the back, as you can see, we've got the carbon fiber vinyl wrap that if you're going to use something like this, first of all, get a heat gun because you're going to get rid of all the bubbles. There's no way to perfectly apply vinyl wrap, and they do this on cars too. You want to get a heat gun so you can push all those bubbles out, and that's crucial. And I still managed to miss a couple of maybe dust specks or maybe micro bubbles or something like that I can't push out. But it still looks really good. And I also did that on the back of the casing as well, where the speakers are. And then this, I cannot be happier with when you take a look at the underside. Now, as I said, he's not going to have a whole lot of time to show that off because, I mean, who's sitting there flipping over their laptop going, look! But when he does show it off, it's going to be the coolest looking laptop anybody's ever seen because it might not be the newest thing in the world, but it's the most unique laptop anybody has ever seen. I guarantee it. Because who the hell has plexiglass windows on their laptop? Nobody, except this guy. And I'm very pleased at the result because, like I said, it took me forever to really get a direction out of this, and peeling it open, seeing the guts, seeing all the things that I could do with it. As much as I wanted to replace the GPU, I did what I could. But I could replace everything else. And there is actually still room for more RAM on this thing. So if he wants to, he can, just pry open now that I know how to do this, this will take me like 2 minutes to take apart. So if he wants to send it back and apply more RAM, totally can do that. And there's another slot for another M.2. I was telling him also that I wished we'd have gone with another Patriot Viper, 2 of them actually, because the VPN 100 that I have in the Commander, which you'll see in a couple of months, the VPN 100 has this really cool look to it because it has a really unique heat sink to it. And it's got a lot of surface area, so it stays really nice and cool. And underneath the window, it would look spectacular. So I'm hoping he sends it back, or at least at some point replaces it, because it would look super cool. I kind of wish that it was flipped, because when you're looking at it, like if you look right now, it's upside down, and I don't really like that. Unless you like flip it over like back this way, you're not getting the most out of the aesthetic. But whatever, that's inconsequential. And another cool thing that I did with it, as you can see, I cut out the cradle for the hard drive was pretty much a solid piece of aluminum. And as you can see, I cut out that little rectangular area so you can actually see the hard drive. And then underneath, I took out this sort of anti-reactive film that they use for like transporting GPUs and any kind of hardware. It's anti-static. I had to take it out because I had painted it, and so some of it got on the film. So I just took it out and replaced it with painter's tape. It's non-reactive, there's no metal in it, he's got nothing to worry about. So it looks good, and it just, again, it's a singular looking piece. One other thing that I'd like to point out is the etching. And this is something I sort of tormented myself for a good day as to whether or not I was going to do it or how I was going to do it, because after painting it, I was like, well, I mean, it looks good, but it would look better if I etched the design in there. And I just knew it was going to take a serious amount of time. Not to mention I'd have to paint over it to give it a nice clear coat so it wouldn't get worse. So what I did was I broke out the iFixit kit. I took the smallest Phillips bit or maybe it was a flat. Anyway, I took the smallest bit on there and I etched out the design, as you can see, on both sides. And it looks super cool. It took me 5 hours to do, so I didn't screw anything up. But once I had all the etching done, and once I had the clear coat on top of it, it just, I mean, you can see it. It looks phenomenal. And that's pretty much it. Like, the cosmetics are singular, unique, and just amazing to look at. He can show this to anybody that because he's back in school now. He's doing classes at a college in Oklahoma, I think it is. So he's going to have this in classes, and it's just going to be the coolest looking thing in the school, not to mention if he ever takes it to a convention. So that's really it. Now you're going to send this out to him, and you're going to see just in a minute what he thinks of the completed piece.
Hey everyone, Hobbs asked me to do a little unboxing of Project Black Widow, which I'm super excited for. The Army, in its infinite wisdom, decided to give me a scholarship to go back to school and get my master's and then become an OSIFer in 2 years. So I needed something that was going to be able to go with me on campus, since Project Tango, which is still doing amazing, can't obviously do that. So let's get over there and see how it looks. I got yelled at by Hobbs last time for not holding the phone the appropriate angle, so I'm going to do it better this time. But I am super excited. Cannot wait to see how this looks. Holy cow. That is amazing. I don't even recognize this thing anymore. And we're going to do a tactical pause here while I get it out the box. I'm just absolutely blown away. Hobbs, you've done it again. Seriously, dude. This is incredible. Oh, and you even put that all back there. How nice of you. Dude, this is absolutely amazing. I'm gonna change the color of my fancy desk light here. Dude, this is sick. The biggest thing that I was dealing with in terms of frustration, because I took this with me overseas, was this was getting all dinged up and scratched and just looked hideous, but I'm really glad that I can't even see any of that anymore. Like, all of it generally just looks amazing. That is just awesome. He said he did something on the bottom too. Oh, that is sick. That is absolutely sick. He did a really good job with the see-through on Project Tango, and I hoped he would do something similar, and I am very, very happy that he did. This is just incredible. Yeah, I think everyone on campus is going to be extremely jealous now. And now we're going to do the first time boot on, all again. Oh, none of that horrible crunching noise that the fans are doing because there's still so much f***ing sand in it. This is... Hobbs, you did an amazing job, dude. Again, I can't even remotely say how awesome this looks. Like, words don't have... There's no... Oh! Dude, that is sick. And that boot time is just incredible. It was getting so frustrating how slow this thing was getting. Oh my god, I am stoked, dude. Yeah, let me go back to that. That is just incredible. Dude, I can't even extend that. That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you. Shout out to HMODS. If you ever need any kind of computer modification done, you need to go to this man. He does excellent quality work that will just blow you away, and he's going to give you no details at all leading up to the project unveil. He's just going to be like, yeah, it's going to look awesome, or he'll shoot you a really, really blurry teaser, just expecting that you're going to, get all the information you need from that, and then when you get the final product, it just... I'm super happy. Thank you. Yeah. Pretty sure it'll go very nicely next to Project Tango. Shout out to HMODS. You did a great job again. Thanks, bro.
So that's it. This has been an amazing project. I'm glad he likes it. I am really happy that the result came out better, and I love this. When the result is better than what I pictured, it's just a treat. And I love having a plan, and then in the process, I come up with all this other stuff to do, which is sort of a problem for me. I'll just add shit to do to it. But I love when I have a plan, and then the stuff that I add to that just makes it look 10 times cooler. So with that said, thanks for watching. The next project is going to be super cool. I figured I tortured myself with a laptop, so why not go even smaller? So tune in next time when we eat a bear.